If you are new to the Digimon card game, or if you're looking for something to play competitively with a super easy deck to pilot, well then, D-Brigade is perfect for you. Just before we get started with the video, I got something really cool to share with all of you guys. If you haven't watched our newest Battle of series with Mario, then be sure to check that out as well. In our latest Battle of X Records series, you will get to see me play the Alphamon X antibody deck, putting it in action, and playing against Mario's Red X antibody Omnimon deck. Come watch the epic clash of the Royal Knights to find out who comes out on top. Links will be left in the description box down below or the iCard on the top right here. Hello Digimon players and fans, welcome back to another Digimon deck profile and in-depth building guide video. D-Brigade makes a huge comeback in the BT9 meta. It has seen relative success securing top spots in the most recent large events as well. For any of you guys who are trying to get into the Digimon card game for the very first time, this is the perfect deck that I would highly recommend you guys to play because it is super easy to pick up, super easy to learn, and it's just one of the best decks to start playing really. And its win condition is just super easy to understand. But if you guys are still nervous, don't worry because I'll be teaching you guys how to play the deck in this video as well, so be sure to stick around for that. The concept is very easy to understand. It has a rookie rush based strategy where you try to play as many Commandramons and low cost rookies as possible and swing into your opponent's security non-stop. Now I really want to say that this deck is very budget friendly, but there is one slight problem. You see this guy right here? Yeah, he's expensive, and this card has only shot up further in price as of late. But don't worry, I got a slightly more budget alternative option for you guys, and that is to play Zwart Defeat instead. I used to play this card in D-Brigade all the time, and I would highly recommend you guys to pick up the Zwart Defeats and play that instead. But aside from that, the core engine of this deck is very affordable. So let's go on ahead and show you guys what we got for the deck profile. Okay, Digi-Egg cards. We have 4 Pagumons and 1 Sumemon here. Pagumon is just really great because on deletion, you reveal the top card. If it's a black Digimon, you get to add it to your hand, sort of like a draw power card, and many of our rookies do tend to get deleted by security battle. That's our whole intention when we try to play this deck anyways. Sumemon, on the other hand, just gives you extra 2k as long as you have another Digimon on the board, which has the same name. And because of so many Commandramons we play, it's very easy to fulfill this condition. Now, it's really important that we do want to play and maximize our 5 egg slots in this deck simply because we'd be hatching and pushing out rookies over and over again very constantly, and we do need more eggs overall to help us supplement for the rookie rush type of strategy overall. Okay, so now let's talk about our rookies. First and foremost, we have the BT4 Commandramon, basically the best one in the entire deck, simply because it is the on deletion, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can play one Commandramon for free on the board, which gives it a very nice floating capability. Lots of value when you try to swing in. The intention is to have it be deleted in security battle, so you can bring another one out immediately very quickly, which is very nice. If it doesn't get deleted, then that's great as well, because then you can continue to pressure against your opponents, which is really nice. Next, we got the Blocker Commandramon. Blocker is just really crucial, sometimes very handy just to stop an attack or two. Really need it, but once again, we're trying to max out on a Commandramon, which makes total sense. You guys can probably see it coming anyways. So moving into our vanilla ones, we have this Commandramon from Starter Deck 5, and then this Commandramon from BT3. Starter Deck 5 Commandramon is the stronger one, costs more. You usually want to be digivolving this one instead, but it has 5k, which makes it very strong. The other 2 drop one from BT3 is much cheaper to play, which is really nice. You can manipulate the memory gauge very nicely by choking your opponent when you need to, or spam these guys out but has lower DP. Did you guys know that D-Brigade and Commandramon is getting even more new support in the upcoming EX3 set? It will be receiving an entire brand new full Digivolution line, providing the deck an alternative playstyle which synergizes with the current cards. And it's going to be super cool, super fun. If you guys are just as excited and want to see me cover it when it comes out for us in English, then definitely subscribe and turn on that notification bell right now to stay tuned for that video as soon as it comes. Also, give this video a like because it just really helps. But with the quick good news and announcement, let's continue with our deck profile. That's it for all of our Commandramons. Let's talk about the rest of our rookies. We still have more to go. We got 3 copies of Hagurumon. Really great because on play you can trash one of your Digimon with Machine or Cyborg to draw 2 cards, giving you the draw power that the deck needs. All D-Brigades are essentially Cyborgs in this deck, so this just synergizes very nicely. And then we have 3 Chikurimons. I really like this card. This is like the security bomb, de-digivolving. There's almost no protection against it overall, and this is a Digimon effect as well, making it super good and super clutch when it does come out in security, and we all know why this card is just very good. So that's it for our rookies. Level 4s, we have 2 copies of Sealsdramon, very standard, just a very nice card that we can digivolve into. Also, once again, just a blocker and also a D-Brigade, just fulfilling more archetypes to help us turbo into our Darkdramon when we need to overall. And then, of course, you also need to have 2 Grumblemons. Grumblemon for game, Hybrid for game. That's all you really need. We do have a handful of Black Tamers to help us digivolve Grumblemon on top of it so that we can swing for game, which is always very nice. So that's it for the level 4s. We don't play any level 5s in this deck at all, and we're just going to jump straight into our level 6s where we only have the 4 copies of Darkdramon right here. He is your boss Digimon of the deck. Super strong because it has Rush. On play, you basically return up to 5 of your Digimon cards with D-Brigade from your trash to the top of your deck, and you gain 2 memory each, essentially making it a 3-cost hard play Digimon, and you immediately swing for game. That's the whole idea, or try to swing in for security and swing in for pressure. That's really all he is there for. Very simple. Just a really cool card, really good card in general as well. Very unique with its own effect. But yeah, that's really it for Darkdramon. And then for our level 7s, best card in the game currently, I guess, we have 3 copies of Deathxmon. Deathxmon is just super good. In any situation when your opponent goes really wide with their Tamers and lots of different Digimon, this card just punishes them super hard, de-digivolving their entire board, deleting everything that's level 4 or lower afterwards, and has a very strong end of opponent's turn. They have to delete everything that they have with the lowest play cost. That's Digimon as well. This card also synergizes very well with this deck overall because it is a black and purple Digimon. It being black, you can sometimes actually digivolve this on top of a Darkdramon if you need and if you want as well. And that could apply a lot of pressure on the board, just making it super annoying to deal with and just a super strong card itself. So yeah, you want to see it consistently enough as well. So 3 copies is definitely what you want to go for. That's it for all of our Digimon. Let's talk about our Tamers. We first have the 3 copies of Kazu and the 2 copies of Izzy here. Kazu is just super great because at the start of your main phase, if you control Digimon with Cyborg or Machine, you gain a memory. All your D-Brigades, once again, are Cyborgs, so you do get that 1 memory, which is really nice. Also, all turns when one of your Digimon with Cyborg or Machine and its traits becomes suspended, you can suspend this Tamer to draw a card and trash a card from your hand, cycling a bit of cards that you really need. Giving it the extra draw power is just very nice, and it's just only 3 costs to drop, so Kazu just gives you a lot of value in the long run and in the short run as well. Next, Izzy is very crucial for this deck as well because he is your memory tamer, but also just a very nice on-play effect where you get to look at the top 3 cards and cycle through and pick and choose how you want to plan accordingly for your next plays overall. Also kind of like a pseudo Hammer Spark in security. If your opponent ever runs into this card in security and you do reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and they're black, you gain 1 memory, so you can potentially even pass your turn, which is really neat. And all the cards we play inside here are all black, so nothing to worry about, and that will always be resolving the effect 100%. That's it for the Tamers. Let's talk about options. We have lots of options to showcase in this deck. First and foremost, the best option in the deck, we have Pride Memory Boost. Main, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and you play 1 black Digimon card with play cost 4 or less among them without paying memory cost. And then you trash the rest. Now there's 2 really key good components to this effect, simply because the first one lets you play like a Commandramon or any of your rookies for free, and then you get to pressure on board. Also, trashing really helps fuel up your trash for more D-Brigades potentially, so then you can turbo into your Darkdramon even faster, which is really good. Of course, not to mention, it is a memory boost card, so it does have delay and you gain 2 memory for 4 costs. Super valuable, super good card. Must maximize that 4. Now let's talk about our bit of our removal option cards. We have 4 Ultimate Flares and 2 Iron Fist's Onslaughts. Super good card. Ultimate Flare, we always know. D-Digivolving, super great. D-Digivolve 3, and then popping wide boards, everything that is 3 costs or less. Iron Fist and Onslaught, really great for dealing top-end stuff. Multiple top-end stuff on the board with the same play cost, highest play cost. Really, really good value there. I do decide I want 4 Ultimate Flares and just have more simply because D-Digivolving is just incredibly insane in this format. Last but not least, we have 2 Congos for defensive capabilities. Just really good to stop our opponents from attacking us. And yeah, buying us an extra turn. Really, really great in security and super clutch at times, especially when your opponent's trying to push for game and realize afterwards they couldn't because Congo comes out from security. It's just a really, really good card. But 2 is really all I need. Okay, so that'll be it for the deck profile. Once again, there's really not much other tech cards I would kind of include because you just really want to be consistent with your Commandramon builds and your D-Brigade. There's not a whole lot of other suggestions I have, so let's jump straight in for you guys who don't know how to play the deck to teach you guys how to play it. First and foremost, it's actually just a super easy deck. It's essentially like the modern version of Rookie Rush, and all you're trying to do is just to hatch your egg, push out, and continue to attack and attack and attack. So of course you hatch your egg. So it really depends on what you have during the time in your hand, and your whole goal is try to give your opponent as little memory as possible. That's really it. But of course, if you ever see this Commandramon, you will always want to have it ready, digivolve it, or have it on the board here. And once again, like I said, try to give your opponent as little as memory as possible, and your opponent passes back you to 1, and you sort of juggle around and play the memory gauge game instead. Really, there's nothing too much to think twice about. In most matchups, all you're trying to do is you're trying to establish tempo and advantage as early in the game as possible. So just start swing as soon as you have the opportunity. Swing with Commandramon. If it gets deleted, then you get to use its effect along with Pagumon, which is great. Make sure to sort of resolve your effects by choosing which one you want to go first as well, whether you can do Pagumon first or Commandramon second or first, whatever you like. And then, of course, if it gets deleted, if it doesn't, then it's great because you get to pressure again next turn. Continue to swing. That's all you want to be continuing to doing. Just continue to swing. Whenever you see your Kazus, find an opportunity to play him as soon as possible because he gives you so much long-term value and so much value throughout the entire rest of the game once he's established on the board. Next, you play your Pride Memory Boost, same here as well. And just continue to cycle through your Commandramons, play more. If you play Hagurumon, which is great, you get to trash a card and draw more cards, which is really, really important as well. And you just keep hatching your egg over and over again. Digivolving, ideally, once again, this Commandramon here because it's got the highest play cost, but sometimes it's not too bad. If your opponent puts you to 3 and they don't have a memory tamer or whatnot, you can pay the full 4 and just play this Commandramon here outright, and you choke them at 1. Same for this one as well, because this is the 4 cost, the blocker one. And you just keep swinging and swinging, and eventually you would just really want to have 5 Commandramons in your trash so that you can eventually see your Darkdramon and go for the Darkdramon play. Now, for the Darkdramon play, there's a lot of conditions you want to usually meet. You want to make sure you have at least 5 D-Brigades in your trash for the most optimal value. You can actually play this card even without necessarily having the 5 D-Brigades. However, it just rarely happens. There are some occasions if you only have 4 and you have enough memory to go for it, then you can go for it and do so. But really, the basic combo is you want to be at 3 memory no matter where you are, whether you pop your boost or whether you have Kazu that gave you the extra 1 memory at the turn, or even if you had a Izzy, which is very, very, very helpful during the time as well. So look at your trash. You got your 5 D-Brigades. It can be any. So plan accordingly. This is actually one of the most crucial parts because what it does, it cycles these 5 cards to the top of your deck, meaning your next few turns are going to be revolving around playing these cards essentially. So what you want to do is you pay your memory all the way to 10, paying the 13 cost of Darkdramon, cycling the 5 D-Brigades to the top of your deck, and then you gain your 10 memory back right here, so you go down to 0. Make sure your opponent doesn't have a memory blocker on the board, otherwise Darkdramon combo, it becomes useless, because That would be really unfortunate because you would then pay your opponent so much memory. So be sure to keep an eye out for any memory blockers and try to get rid of them first before you do, because you do gain memory of Darkdramon. Darkdramon has Rush, so he can swing. Usually he's really good for a game ender. Otherwise, in some pivotal situations of the game, you might want to swing in with him. However, once Darkdramon comes out, that's really all he does. He doesn't do anything else. He's basically a vanilla moving forward. And this is in some situations where you might consider that you can give your opponent a little bit more memory if you want to go into a Def X, and you can pop the boards if needed. If not, then you just apply a lot of pressure and make it difficult for them to play the next turn. So then you can go at them again and then essentially try to push pressure and go for game from there. So that's really the whole strategy. It's very, very simple. You just try to swing as much as you can. There are some pivotal moments and pivotal decisions, but again, it really comes down to manipulate the memory gauge. Stronger and the better way you can manipulate the memory gauge and not give your opponent too much memory to work with, the better this deck really thrives. That will conclude for my very own deck building strategy and in-depth guide for the D-Brigade Commandramon deck profile video for BT9. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Overall, the D-Brigade Commandramon deck is super fast aggro type of deck. It has removal cards that are incredibly strong, and not all the decks in this current format are prepared to have the built-in protection against it. However, it does have several weaknesses too. It is especially weak against heavy control decks that have removal and blockers. Sadly, there isn't too much you can do other than play the grind game and hope for the best in your security to counter those matchups. But once again, the good news is we're going to be getting new support soon, which will make the deck even stronger than it currently is. And if you guys can't wait for more D-Brigade content and Commandramon content, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video, and this is Avault, signing